Hello everyone, hope you all are doing fine. In the previous class, we have discussed the effects of ICT on the employment. There were some positive effects as well as some negative effects. As the ICT have taken some job away from the workers, it have introduced some a new type of jobs also. In this class, we will be discussing what will be the effects of IT, what have been the effect of IT on working pattern within the organization. The introduction of ICT into the workplace has led to a number of changes in the working pattern for the staff, particularly the old concept of 9 to 5 working day means 10 hours a day you have to be in the office, which is known as a normal full-time work pattern, have given a way to much more flexible working pattern. Like IT have introduced more working patterns instead of the full-time job. These are four main additional types of work patterns which have been introduced by the introduction of ICT into the organization. Number one is part-time. Number two is job sharing. Number three is full time. Number three is compressed hours. Number four is compressed hours. So let's talk about the part time working. It is like an employee who is working less hours over a week than a full time employee. For example, a full time employee, if he is working from 9 to 5, it means he is taking at least 8 hours a day to work in the office per day. So over a week it will be 40 hours per week. So a part-time is a one who is taking less than 40 hours per week, or it can be like part-time staff can work outside the traditional hours of work like evening, or he can be work on the evening weekends. No, it is not necessary to for him to work for the time slot like 9 to 5 necessarily. He can work whether in the evening or only on the weekends. Instead of working every day 8 hours, he will work on the weekends continuously for 40 hours for the 2 days like Saturdays, Sundays, or Fridays, Saturdays in the Middle East. So he will be working 40 hours continuously, and rest of the week he will not be working. So the main thing is he is completing his 40 hours. He is completing his required job. He is completing the tasks he has been assigned. So IT have changed the mindset of the organizations, that at the end what is important, the presence of the employee or the task or the job to be completed within the time slot. Obviously, organization is more concerned about the task or the job given to the employee have been completed or no. For example, an employee have been given one job to be finished within 1 week. So he have 7 days to complete this job. It's up to him. If he is working 8 hours per day and completing the job within the first 5 days of the week, or he is sitting on the last 2 days continuously for the 40 hours, or how much hours that job requires, and completing that job before the Monday, before the next week starts. So at the end, what matters is that he has done his job and he has submitted the assigned task before the deadline. So in the part-time job, staff works between 1 and 30 hours a week, not the 40 hours. So his time working hours are 1 to 30. For example, someone who works fewer hours per week than a full-time staff. This can be either fewer hours per day or fewer days per week. It can be a fewer hours per day or fewer days per week. So we have different options in the part-time. If they can work on a fewer days, for more hours, or they can work a fewer hours per day. It will not be like a full-time job, means 40 minimum 40 hours per week. It will be between 1 to 30. Then next is job sharing. Job sharing is full-time job is divided between two part-time employers, means this part-time job employer is taking 1 to 30 hours. So a full-time job is normally normally it is definitely 40 hours. So these 40 hours will be divided between these two part-time employers. So if that one job is shared between two part-time employers, both employers do the same job, same responsibility. One employee could work in the morning and the other in the afternoon, or the first in the second part of the week. So they are sharing their job, means in the first half of the day one employer is working, and in the second half of the day another employer is working. If the job if these part-time employees are like they are working for a few days of week, so first part of the week one employee will be working, and the second part of the week second employee will be working. So this is job sharing. With the job sharing, a full-time job is divided between two part-time workers. For example, one could work in the morning and the other in the afternoon. Or one could work Monday to Wednesday lunchtime and the other from Wednesday lunchtime to Friday. Both workers are doing the same job. One picks up the work where the other is left off. So this is how the job sharing is carried out. The next is full-time job. As we have talked about, that employers will work normally 5 full days, means from 9 till 4 or 5 p.m. It can be 7 to 8 hours per day. Maximum time for the full-time job is 10 hours. It will complete between 35 to 40 hours per week. So he is doing his full-time job. Then is compressed hours. In compressed hours, employers are still working full-time hours. However, the same amount of hours are completed over less days. Means instead of 6 7 days, the work is compressed to 5 days. Employers will work more hours in one day to get one extra day off. So it is like in compressed hours, an employer works their full hours for the week, means they will take, instead of 8 hours they will take 10 hours per week, but he will be working not the 6 days, he will be working for the 5 full days or 4 full days. For example, they may complete their 40 hours in 4 days rather than the normal 5 days. So it will be a compressed hours job, means they have to complete their 40 hours. So it's up to them, they will take 10 hours per day and they will complete their working hours for the 1 week within the first 4 days. So they will take the fifth day off. It is like compressed hours working. What are the main reasons for having these different work pattern is essentially this leads to more contented staff, since they can work hours that suit their lifestyle or home circumstances. It can allow them to avoid rush hours, commuting to in the morning and evening, and often leads to more highly motivated staff, which is good for staff and company alike. So these four working patterns, which have been introduced by the induction of the IT in the working environment or within the organization, are in the favor of employers, but not only the employers, it is in the favor of also the employer also. So how it will be affecting the employees and employers, we will discuss this now. The use of computers have changed the way we complete our work. Employees now don't necessarily have to be in the office to complete their tasks. They can work from home. They can use internet to complete the tasks. They can use their smartphones. So there are many ways, many patterns which can be used by the workers to complete one set of tasks. For example, remote working. Employees are able to access their office desktop computers from a different location. For example, they can access their office system remotely using internet. So they will be accessing all the files, all the source resources from the office computer, and whatever the changes will be made to those files and folders, they will be updated to the office system automatically at the end of the day. Then there is use of internet. Employees can log on into intranet to communicate and access shared resources with the other staff. What is I'm sorry. What is internet? We have discussed this before. It is the personal or a private internet connection within one organization. So they will be employee will be having a username and a password to log into the internet to the network of their organization. They can access their shared resources and they can communicate with the other staff. Then there is the use of internet. Employees can check their emails using internet, and they can have their web conferences with the peers, with the customers, with their colleagues, or otherwise they can use smartphones. They can make phone calls, they can send emails, and they can be diverted to personal smartphone from the office accounts also. If they have to attend one call, they can, and these calls can be diverted to the employees who are working remotely. This type of working patterns and this type of IT methods used to work remotely have some advantage for the employers and the employer as well, and they have some disadvantage for the employee and the employer as well. Let's discuss what advantage employee can have for working remotely. Number one is that the employer don't need to have make their child care arrangement. They can spend more time with the family, and whenever they are working at home, so in their convenient time they can work. When they want to drop their child to the child care, they can do that, and coming back home, and they can work their office work. Number two is that employee can work at convenient time for them. Obviously, whenever they will feel convenient and relaxed, they will do their work. They will try to finish their tasks or the jobs assigned to them when they will feel that they are relaxed now. It will save their time and cost of on traveling. For example, one employee is going to office every day, so he has to spend some money for the traveling cost, and also in the rush hours he have to spend more time to reach to the office. These all are the advantages which employee is having if he is working remotely. What will be the advantage if employer is letting the employee to work from home? First of all, that employer don't need to provide desk office space, so it means he will be not paying more money to have a spacious office to adjust all the employees within the office. Employees may be happier and productive working at home. How he can be happier and productive when a employee or a worker is working on his convenient time, when he is working, when he is mentally relaxed and he is not stressed out. So happier the employer, he will be more productive. He can work more happily and with more concentration. So these are the advantage of working remotely. Now there are some disadvantages as well as the advantages. What are the disadvantages for the employee? Is lack of interaction, including social with the staff and management. If an employee is not going to the office, so he cannot communicate with the staff as he will be communicating with his presence in the office and with the management also. For example, if there is a chance for promotion, he will he will not be able to avail that chance, because management will go for a person who is coming to the office on the daily basis, because they are monitoring him more, uh, instead of the employee who is working remotely. Employee could be easily distracted working from home. Work could be overlooked for promotion opportunities. For example, which I have told you that if there is a chance for promotion, so management will prefer the one who is coming to office more often. Then, what are the disadvantage for the employer is it could be harder to check what the employee is up to, means monitoring for the employee what he is doing, if he is utilizing the working hours exactly, or he is more efficient, working more effectively. It cannot be monitored easily if the worker is working remotely. So these are the effects of IT on the working pattern. Only the more